So Buddha even threw the challenge saying, look, I was just like you hundreds of years ago. And I did something and I'm improved. I became Buddha today. So you all are eligible. You all have a right to be like me. Not necessarily called Buddha. You may call something else. Whatever. So that capacity, you all have a right to be. But whether you're going to be a diligent to work for, or you're just going to be lazy. So that's the difference. That's what the Buddha says. So the goal of the Buddhism is to provide the experience that Buddha went through, challenging the causes of suffering, the negative emotions, anger, hatred, obsession. So which we are unfortunately addicted, absolutely addicted in anger. You don't have to go to school to learn how to get angry, do we? No, we don't. And we don't have to go to school to learn how to be obsessed or jealousy. So automatically it pops up in our mind. Something we dislike it, all of those will pop up, just like toast out of toaster. Boom. Right? So it's there. So that is our problem. This is our challenge. So the Buddha gives two things. Directly challenging those negative emotions and the root of the cause. The root of those suffering. The root at one single root, all those negative emotions. The traditional language for that, they call it ignorance, but not the ignorance of stupidity, but it is sort of a combination of confusion, fear, and so it is what we in normal, everyday American language call it ego. Though ego is if I understand correctly, I don't speak English, so I don't know. But honestly, but I understand the ego is a language that developed by psychologists to build self-esteem. However, people use your ego talking. That's your ego, not you. From that angle, I'm picking up that terminology to be able to associate our understanding. So, ignorance is a traditional terminology. Traditionally, it's fine. Today, no, we're not ignorant at all. We're too intelligent to call it ignorance, honestly. And so it is our ego. The fear, the confusion combined and started leading our life in certain different directions than we should have been. So that is our problem. So that is our target. If we are looking at the Buddha, what did he do? What did he tell us? He said, hey, here's your enemy within you. Call it ego within you. So this is the source where you are coming. You go and you go out and say, before I get hurt, I must hurt them. I'm sorry to remind you, we have been 8 years before Obama. So we have those all preemptive and this and that, and all of those. Where they come from? And they come from ego. And the fear too. Absolutely fear. Fear because of 9/11. It's true. It's honest. It's not true. 9/11 didn't happen. It's not true. We all know it happened. And it's horrible. But that put tremendous fear within us. Fear, confusion together. So then we have all this trouble what we are today. The wars. All these wars are killing machine. Whether whoever it is. Us or them or whoever. A human being wasted. Honestly, human being such as ourselves, with the mind, intelligent enough, with a little education, or with a lot of education, whatever, and mind their own business, hoping to provide a little better for their families. And suddenly, the war breaks, and then we went through so many wars, so we know how is it. And today, you can see the little box in our living room shows us what is the consequences over wherever it is. So these are the fear, confusion, and pride, jealousy, anger, hatred, obsession, all combined together made this. And this is same for big nations at the big level, small families, a family level, within the individual level, where even it's between two kids, they're all same thing happens. As small as with two kids, or as big as huge nations. This is what's happening. This is our suffering. And that's what we have to overcome. Is it true by bringing peace? Is it true by doing whatever? But the most important, what we neglected, is looking after internally. Looking after internally our own ego, our own hatred, our own jealousy, our own obsession. We didn't look after that. And as long as you don't deal with this, no matter whatever you do outside, same old trouble continue. This is a fact. Look back in history. We have so many enemies, and we keep on destroying. Some new enemy pops up. Even in my lifetime, we have communism. Somehow the communism gone. We have fascists, right? Then we have this huge Hitler guy, and then that's gone. And then we have all this Saddam and this and that and Gaddafi and all of those. It continues because we don't look after ourselves. Our own internal reflection brings the external enemy. Honestly, truly speaking, So if you deal with your own enemy within yourself, so everything will be nice and friend and wonderful. As long as we have that, everything will have reservations, hesitations, and all kinds of things will come. It is interesting, one of the early Indian Buddhist teacher has a giving an example, saying, hey, there's so much problem, so much difficult ones on the ground outside in the world. Wherever you go, there's a rough ground and cutting and thorns and needles and all kinds of things. So how I'm going to do? So one guy said, well, let me cover them up with leather. And where are you going to get such a leather? So the other guy says, oh, it's easy. We cover our foot. And then the one piece of leather will cover our foot. 2 pieces of leather will cover our foot, and we walk over. So it's easier to taking care of that problem than try to cover the whole ground with a piece of leathers and whatever leathers. So similarly, if we deal with our own mind and try to put shoes on for our own feet, and then try to cover the whole world with the leather, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. So because that's why I said enemy within ourselves. If you want, I can call it evil within ourselves. There's nothing, I don't know whether there is such a person called evil with horns and fangs and tails, I'm not sure. But there's somebody inside, evil, so you deal with it. And that's why this Four Noble Truth, recognizing, knowing where it's come from. It just come from, it's not from nowhere, it's from somewhere. That someone is not external, it's internal. Internally, where it's come from, our negative emotions. So deal with the negative emotions, and then you will overcome all their consequences. So the Buddha's teaching, we call it. Teaching or not teaching, what the Buddha tells us what to do is to overcome those. Suggested what to do. It's 3 things. The 3 things. The morality, compassion, love, compassion, wisdom. That's 3 things to overcome those. Morality is very important. A lot of people think it's not. That's wrong. Morality is important. No one would like to be immoral person anyway. Why should a spiritual practitioner be immoral person? No way. Sort of, what the good old Americans saying, nowhere or there. So that's why you can do that. Honestly, the moral is very important. Fundamental ground of a spiritual path. Any spiritual person who thinks I'm fully great on all this, so the morality is the fundamental basis. If you don't have that, the other things that's not ground, then that individual person doesn't have a ground of a spiritual development. It is the moral base, morality. Plus, you need compassion and love, and you need wisdom. So these three help us to get rid of that ego. These three help us to build our own. These are our spiritual path. These three are our spiritual. These will bring the consequences of freedom from suffering and cause of suffering. And that is the theme of Buddhism, whether it is Southeast Asian Buddhism or Chinese Buddhism or Tibetan Buddhism. That's the real essence of Buddha's message. So when you are interested in the Buddha's teaching, Buddha's guidance, these are the things that we should look for. Other than that, the rest of them is showbiz. Honestly. Some this thing, some that thing is all showbiz. And the most important thing among them is be a kind person. As a person, every one of us has the wonderful nature. Whether you're going to be connected the right or the wrong, it is in our hand. Even Hitler had a wonderful nature, but is connected with the wrong thing and then ended up becoming a monster. All of those, Saddam and so on and forth, all of them, they have the same wonderful nature as, I put a few persons here, like the Gandhi and Mother Teresa, Dr. Martin Luther King, Nelson Mandela, Dalai Lama. They have the same nature. Honestly, sorry, don't quote me, but it is. Same nature. But these are the people who are connected with goodness and become good for them, good for everybody else. These are the people who are connected badness and bad for them, bad for so many. And we all have the same thing. And you have to make a choice and whether you're going to be that or this side. You can't be that there totally. But so this is our choice. Our choice. And this is the essence of Buddhism. It's your choice. You can make it. No one else can do for you. And if they do it, not good. It is yourself that makes a difference. And also you have to do it. If you don't do it, who else is going to do it for you? So this is definitely. And that's how you do. And that's what we try to provide the assistant. Lectures like this could be little suggestions. And the center, where the Rimpoche is going to set up, or we have Joel Hart here. And all of those people are providing assistance. And that's it.